Most people know horses are fast and strong, but beyond their powerful gallop and elegant posture, horses hide a world of facts that often go unnoticed, even by those who've been around them for years. Did you know that a horse's brain is more similar to a human's than you might think? Or that horses can sleep both lying down and standing up, depending on the situation? In this video, we're going beyond the obvious. You won't hear generalities or overused trivia. Instead, you'll get 10 specific, lesser-known facts that reveal just how complex, adaptable, and fascinating these animals truly are. Some of these facts might challenge what you thought you knew about horses, and others will make you look at them with a whole new level of respect. Whether you ride regularly, work with horses, or just admire them from a distance, these insights will deepen your understanding and appreciation. No fluff, just real surprising information that shows how unique horses are. Let's begin with the first fact, and it's one that might change how you see horse communication entirely. Horses have complex facial expressions, just like humans. It might seem like horses have a limited emotional range, but research says otherwise. Scientists at the University of Sussex mapped 17 distinct facial expressions in horses, the same number identified in humans. Using a system called Equifax, facial action coding system, they discovered that horses use their eyes, ears, nostrils, and mouth to communicate subtle emotional cues. A horse's ears aren't just for hearing, they serve as emotional indicators. When a horse pins its ears back, it could be showing discomfort or stress. Forward ears often signal curiosity or alertness. Even tension around the nostrils or slight changes in eye shape can convey pain, anxiety, or contentment. Why does this matter? For anyone who works with horses, understanding these expressions can make handling safer and more effective. Instead of relying solely on behavior or sound, recognizing facial signals helps spot discomfort before it escalates. Next time you're near a horse, try paying attention to its face. You might be surprised by how much it's saying without making a sound. And speaking of communication, the next fact takes it even further. Because horses don't just express themselves silently, sometimes they remember you. 2. Horses remember human faces. Even after months, horses don't just recognize voices or scents. They can actually remember human faces, and for a surprisingly long time. In a 2018 study published in Scientific Reports, researchers showed horses photographs of human faces and discovered that the animals could distinguish between familiar and unfamiliar people, even if they hadn't seen them for months. What's more, the horses reacted more positively to the familiar faces, showing relaxed body language, more eye contact, and forward-pointed ears. That kind of memory isn't just impressive, it's emotional. Horses don't just remember, they form associations. If you treated a horse kindly, there's a good chance it will associate your face with safety and calm. The opposite is also true. This ability helps explain why horses often become deeply bonded with certain people, even years after being separated. It's not just about routine or food. There's a real connection being formed. So if you're wondering whether your horse misses you when you're gone, there's real science to back up that idea. Next, we shift from memory to biology, and a fascinating fact about how horses breathe when they run. 3. Horses can only breathe through their noses, never their mouths. Unlike humans, horses are obligate nasal breathers. That means they can't breathe through their mouths, ever. Their anatomy simply doesn't allow it. A long, soft palate in the back of their throat seals off the mouth from the trachea, forcing all airflow through the nostrils. This unique feature is critical to how horses function, especially during intense physical activity. At a full gallop, a horse takes one breath for every stride, a perfectly synchronized rhythm of movement and respiration. But since all air has to pass through the nose, any blockage, inflammation, or even slight nasal discomfort can have serious effects on performance and health. For riders and handlers, this makes respiratory care a top priority. Dusty stables, poorly fitted tack that presses against the nose, or even tight nosebands can interfere with a horse's breathing. And unlike us, they can't compensate by opening their mouths. It also explains why conditions like roaring, a paralysis of the larynx, can be so detrimental. They're not just noisy, they restrict airflow where no backup system exists. Up next, if you think horses are loud animals, the next fact might surprise you. They actually use very subtle sounds to communicate. 4. Horses communicate with sounds too quiet for us to hear. When people think of horse sounds, they usually imagine loud neighs or whinnies. But in reality, Horses rely far more on subtle, low-frequency sounds, many of which are too quiet or too low-pitched for the human ear to detect. These near-infrasound vibrations are part of how horses communicate within a herd, especially over short distances. Researchers have observed that horses often emit soft snorts, grunts, or low hums during interactions. These sounds can convey reassurance, curiosity, or mild warnings. What's fascinating is that other horses pick up on them instantly, even when humans don't notice a thing. This quiet communication makes sense when you consider a horse's natural environment. As prey animals, horses benefit from silence. Being too loud could attract predators, so instead, they developed a highly refined form of body language and soft vocalizations to speak without drawing attention. If you've ever had the feeling a horse was responding to something silently, you were probably right. Many experienced trainers learn to listen with their eyes, watching for small ear twitches or lip movements that accompany these low sounds. And speaking of subtle adaptations, did you know horses can lock their legs while sleeping? Pfeiffer. Horses sleep standing up, thanks to a locking mechanism in their legs. It sounds impossible, but horses really can sleep while standing. And it's not just a short nap. They owe this ability to a unique anatomical feature called the stay apparatus, a system of tendons and ligaments that locks their legs in position without using muscle effort. This allows horses to rest, doze off, and even enter light sleep phases while remaining upright. As prey animals, this is a survival mechanism. Lying down makes them vulnerable. It takes time and effort to get up quickly if danger appears. By sleeping on their feet, horses stay alert and ready to move at a moment's notice. However, deep sleep, the REM stage, can only happen when the horse is lying down. That's why even the most active horses still spend some time each day resting on the ground, though often just for short intervals. If a horse doesn't feel safe or comfortable in its environment, it might avoid lying down altogether, leading to sleep deprivation, which can cause health and behavior problems. So the next time you see a horse standing still with drooping ears and a relaxed lower lip, it might not just be bored, it could be dreaming while standing. Sex. Horse hooves are made of the same material as human fingernails. At first glance, a horse's hoof looks like solid bone, but it's actually made of keratin, the same tough protein that forms human hair and nails. What makes the hoof so remarkable is how it supports the entire weight of the horse, often over 500 kilograms, and absorbs shock with every step. The hoof isn't just a hard shell. Inside, it's a complex structure with sensitive tissue, blood vessels, and a mechanism that pumps blood back up the leg. This internal system acts almost like a second heart in the lower limbs, helping circulation, especially when the horse is moving. Because hooves grow continuously, like fingernails, they need regular trimming. A healthy hoof grows about 1 centimeter per month. If left unchecked, it can become overgrown, cracked, or imbalanced, leading to lameness and long-term damage. Shoes aren't always necessary, but in many cases, especially with horses that work on hard or rocky surfaces, they protect the hoof and preserve balance. Farriers play a critical role in a horse's health, and hoof care is often one of the first lessons in responsible ownership. Next, we move from the ground up to an unexpected connection between horse vision and movement. 70. Horses see 2 different images at the same time. A horse's eyes are located on the sides of its head, giving it nearly 350 degrees of vision. But here's the part most people don't realize. Horses process visual information from each eye separately, meaning they can literally see 2 different things at once. This ability is called monocular vision, and while it helps detect predators from all angles, it also comes with trade-offs. Depth perception is weaker, and the blind spots seen directly in front of the nose and right behind the tail can surprise horses if someone or something enters those zones without warning. When a horse turns its head slightly, it's not being stubborn. It may just be switching from monocular to binocular vision, which occurs when both eyes focus on the same object. Binocular vision is more detailed and helps with judging distances, especially when jumping or navigating obstacles. This split vision system explains why sudden movements or changes in light can spook even a calm horse. What looks safe with one eye might appear completely different to the other. Understanding how horses see the world changes how we approach and train them, and helps us avoid triggering fear or confusion unnecessarily. Up next, a strange link between horse teeth and their age. 8. You can estimate a horse's age by looking at its teeth. In the horse world, the phrase "don't look a gift horse in the mouth" isn't just a saying. It's rooted in reality. That's because a horse's teeth reveal its age with surprising accuracy, especially during its younger years. Foals start with baby teeth, just like humans, and these are gradually replaced by permanent teeth between ages 2, 5 and 5. But even after that, a horse's teeth continue to grow and wear down in patterns that reflect its age. Vets and experienced handlers can examine tooth shape, angle and surface to make an educated guess, often within a year or two of accuracy. One of the most telling signs is the appearance of a groove known as Galvain's groove, which begins at the gum line around age 10 and gradually extends down the tooth. By age 20, it typically reaches the bottom. Though not foolproof, it's a reliable marker in many horses. This dental timeline isn't just useful for age estimation, it's crucial for health. Irregular wear, sharp edges, or overgrowth can lead to pain, weight loss, or resistance to the bit. So yes, in the case of horses, age really is written in the smile. Deister, horses can't vomit, and that's a big deal. One of the most unusual and risky facts about horses is that they can't throw up. Unlike most mammals, horses have a powerful lower esophageal sphincter, a muscular valve at the top of the stomach, that functions like a one-way gate. Once food or gas enters the stomach, it's not coming back up. This might seem like a good thing. No mess, right? But in reality, it's a major health concern. If a horse eats something toxic, overeats, or develops gas buildup, it can't relieve the pressure by vomiting. Instead, the stomach can stretch, rupture, or cause intense pain, leading to a life-threatening condition called colic. Colic is one of the leading medical emergencies in horses and ranges from mild discomfort to twisted intestines. Owners must act quickly, since symptoms can worsen fast. Common signs include pawing at the ground, rolling, refusing to eat, or looking at the belly. Preventing colic involves consistent feeding routines, access to clean water, proper dental care, and minimizing stress. So while horses are strong, this internal limitation makes them surprisingly fragile. And it's one more reason why experienced horse care is essential. Next, one last fact that shows just how fast horses really are. 10. A horse's gallop can outpace a car in the city. When galloping at full speed, a horse can reach 55 to 70 kilometers per hour, 34 to 44 mph, depending on the breed and individual. That's fast enough to outpace a car driving through city streets, and they can accelerate to that speed in just a few strides. The current world record for the fastest gallop is held by a quarter horse, clocked at 88 km/h, 55 km/h, over a short distance. Thoroughbreds, known for longer races, usually peak around 65 km/h. But raw speed isn't the only impressive part. It's how efficiently horses move. Their stride length can reach up to 7 meters, 23 feet, and they can maintain rhythm and balance at high speeds over various terrains. This power and precision are the result of centuries of selective breeding, especially in racing and sport disciplines. Their musculoskeletal system, massive lungs, and enlarged heart all contribute to this natural engine. Speed in horses isn't just for racing. It's a survival trait deeply embedded in their biology. That's why even a calm pasture horse can suddenly bolt with force and accuracy when startled. And with that, we close out the list. But there's one last part, the conclusion. Horses are more than just strength and speed. After exploring these 10 unexpected facts, one thing becomes clear. Horses are far more complex than they appear. Behind their graceful movements and calm eyes is a world of finely tuned biology, deep emotional intelligence, and evolutionary adaptations that still amaze scientists and horse lovers alike. From their ability to remember human faces to the way they communicate in silence, horses constantly challenge what we assume about animal behavior. They're not just animals we ride or care for. They're partners, athletes, and sentient beings with unique ways of seeing, feeling, and surviving. Whether you're a rider, a trainer, or simply someone fascinated by these animals, understanding how horses work, inside and out, is essential to building a respectful and effective connection. The more we learn, the better we care. So now we want to hear from you. Which of these facts surprised you the most? Have you ever witnessed any of them firsthand? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed learning something new about horses, consider subscribing for more content like this. With real facts, no fluff. Thanks for watching. And until next time, take good care of your horses.